On May 25th, 21-year-old Kaura Taylor left her home at Texas with her 1-year-old child. At the time, she was living with her aunt Vandora Skinner, and the family declared her missing. 2 days later, Taylor sends a text message to her aunt Skinner saying, "Had to get out and explore a little bit." When Skinner asked for more information like where exactly Taylor was, she got no response. Taylor was to call Skinner when she got connected to Wi-Fi, but Skinner never heard from Taylor again. The disappearance was very troubling for the relatives, but when they eventually learned what actually happened to Taylor, that did not stop their distress. The relatives learned that Taylor had been living in Scotland with a lost African tribe called the Kingdom of Kubala. Skinner says, "She went missing in May, but we learned she wasn't missing at all. She left to go live with these people." So who exactly are these people? How did Taylor from Texas find herself in a forest in Scotland? And what is this so-called lost African tribe, the Kingdom of Kubala, all about? Hi, my name is Naomi. I've been learning how to animate from YouTube University for the past week and have decided to try something new. Why not, right? Thank you so much for joining me, and let's get into today's story. So, Taylor has been living with her aunt Skinner since she was a teenager, and according to the aunt, Taylor was very sheltered and protected. But she also adds that Taylor apparently was very unruly and could be very disrespectful. The aunt says, "She lived in a 4-bedroom house with her own room, and maybe I shouldn't have been as light on her as I was. I allowed her boyfriends to come over, but maybe I shouldn't have. But I did get her to graduate high school." So the family was probably surprised when 3 months after she had been declared missing, Taylor posted on Facebook that she had fled from a very abusive family. The Facebook post said, "Yes, I'm very happy with my king and queen. I was never missing. I fled a very abusive, toxic family who abused me sexually since I was a child. So you don't go missing to your abusers." So how did Taylor even get involved with this king and queen of a lost African tribe? So she began talking to a guy called Kofi Ofe online, and turns out this guy is the one and only King Atenehe. We'll get to the king and queen later. So before Taylor disappeared, this is according to another of her aunts, she had begun acting very different. So Taylor had distanced herself from her family, she had stopped celebrating holidays, and had also stopped attending family functions. So only two people knew what Taylor was planning. The first person was her then boyfriend, who she even tried to convince to move to the Scottish forest with her. But the whole idea of this king and queen living in the forest performing rituals was not appealing to him, and he refused. Then we have Taylor's best friend. Taylor's best friend let Skinner know that Taylor was living with some people, and the friend was very concerned. So what Skinner does is she asked Taylor's ex-boyfriend, and the boyfriend told her Taylor was in the United Kingdom, and he also told her to look up this kingdom's Facebook page, which the aunt does, and there Taylor was. Skinner told the rest of the family, including Taylor's mom, "I am sure the last place they expected Taylor to be was not in Scotland, in a lost African tribe, talking about how she considered herself a handmaiden and the king's second wife, even though they were not actually married."
I am the handmaid of Queen Andy. I am the inferior mistress, and I also play as a surrogate for the queen. I am also the bondwoman of the king, which means I do not have the formal title of a wife, but he is my husband, and we are a tribe.
So now let's talk about the Kingdom of Kubala and what their whole shtick is. So the kingdom claims they are a lost tribe of Hebrews, and their ancestors were cast out when Elizabeth I deported native black Jacobites.
You are the Shushuma, you are the Messiah, to lead all the chosen people, the Hebrews, to the promised land. May your excellence abound, O great one.
Kingdom of Kubala is an ancient kingdom which existed in Great Britain 400 years ago. This kingdom is a kingdom for the Jacobites, the Highlanders of Scotland, and the the true Moors of Kubala. 400 years ago, my ancestors were deported from this land. The rest of them were killed and destroyed in the land they used to own.
So they're in a forest encampment in Jedburgh to reclaim the land stolen from their ancestors. So according to the kingdom, the prophecy said, after 400 years, when my ancestors are destroyed from the land of Scotland, from the land of Great Britain, they will go into captivity and lose their identity. But after 400 years, I will come and bring them back to the land of the promise. This is the king saying. I am following the ancestral call and the call of the gods.
The Kingdom of Kubala has been on a pilgrimage to our lost heritage, following the roots of our ancestors back to the land where Jacob, our forefather, laid his stone, a stone of scorn, and he blessed it with oil. After he poured the oil, he said, one day the Messiah, his son,
The
the Shiloh, shall return to Scotland, and he shall build back the lost heritage, the lost kingdom, the last kingdom of Scotland.
Kofi Ofe is a king. He is 36 years old and he received a prophecy that lost tribes should come together to reclaim this stolen land. And of course, he is a descendant of the Messiah and he is now the self-proclaimed Almighty King Atehene. Kofi is from Ghana and was originally an opera singer. I found an article from 2016 talking about how his love for opera took him from Ghana to London. And this is where he met Jean Gasho, who is his now wife and Queen Nandi of the North, the high priestess of Kubala.
It is your prophetess, Mary Tama, Queen Nandi of the North, the mother of Chaka, the high priestess of the Kubala kingdom.
So Jean was born and raised in Zimbabwe and moved to the UK when she was 17 years old to study at Edge Hill University for a diploma in psychiatric nursing. So she became a nurse after graduation but gave up her nursing career in 2007 to be a mother to her 3 children at the time. Then she began her writing career and that became her main focus for the next couple of years. I don't know exactly when Jean began her spiritual journey, but looking at some of her old articles, you can tell she has had an issue with Christianity as we know it and the Bible. Our forefathers allowed themselves to be indoctrinated by the Bible so that they could be enslaved. They were not smart enough to think for themselves at this point. Sheesh, this is what she says in an article she wrote in 2017. You can also tell when you go through her blogs that she was willing to be more forgiving and open if her husband ever cheated on her. This is my opinion, but going through her article, why a woman should never leave her husband for cheating, it honestly looks like her husband cheated and she was trying to convince herself that wasn't a good enough reason to leave. She says in the article, cheating is never a strong enough reason to throw away your marriage and let another woman come and enjoy what you have worked hard for, and what's more, bear children for the man you obviously love. So Jean was married before and had had 3 kids with her first husband, then had 4 more with Kofi, and apparently Kofi had set up a property business, and Jean seemed really proud of their lifestyle. She would post on her Facebook page about their properties and portfolio, which consisted of Airbnbs and fancy renovated apartments. So it was a shock to people who knew them when the spiritual shift happened. The couple at one point had been arrested for child neglect and were held in prison for 6 months. But when you ask Jean about her arrest and her time in prison, she'll say, I spent almost 6 months in British prison without committing a crime. Fact, in Britain, you can be jailed because the government hates you for your guts of refusing to follow the beast system. My crime was being the most loving mother on earth while being the queen of Kubala, and for that I went to prison. So the couple got their children taken from them by social services, and now here we are. They have made camp in Jedburgh, and from videos I've seen online, there are people who are not happy they are there. They have been served eviction notices.
So the owners of the land have now gone to Jedburgh Sheriff Court, and now there's a court hearing coming up in which they're asking for a warrant to remove you from the property. Okay? So you don't own the land, you have no right or title to be here. So in court they're going to ask for a warrant to remove yourselves and your effects.
And have had people set their tents on fire and people have thrown rocks at them.
She's literally here. Look at this. Look at this. This is happening right now. Look at this. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. You vile woman. She's come to destroy the tent.
But the kingdom does not recognize local laws and only follow the rules of their God. They say, we follow the laws of the Creator. Everything belongs to the one who made it. The king also added, we do not believe that any authority owns the land. The earth belongs to the Father. We do not know any eviction. All we know is that we are here to stay and to establish our authority and power just like our ancestors did.
They benefit today from what their ancestors did, what they did to our forefathers, our foremothers. Yes, they come today and tell us, you can't even live in a tent. They have taken everything from us.
So the local councillor has assured people they will be removed lawfully and the mob mentality should stop. So before, the kingdom had camped out on land belonging to the local authority, but then they moved to a piece of land not owned by the council. And that's where we are at. Taylor answers to Asnat of Atehene, and according to her, she is very happy there. So if you're also wondering where her child went, because I couldn't see a child in any of the videos, I saw people commenting that Taylor's child was taken from her by Child Protective Services.
In regards to I have children or I will have children, that's not something that I have or I ever will explain to anybody. As I said before, I'm a young adult. I don't have to counsel to you or my faith or my beliefs.
So many people have been diagnosing Taylor and Queen Nandi to having mental issues, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not a doctor, but I do get the concern. Her family believes Taylor has been brainwashed and they want her to go back home. So Taylor is in the UK on a 6-month tourist visa, so on November her visa expires, and now we'll see if the local laws they disregard will take effect this time. I'll definitely be following this story to see how it ends. So I didn't know where to put this in the video, but in 2019, Jean posted a blog, Why My Husband is Looking for a Second Wife and I Am Excited About It. So I guess the why a woman should never leave her husband for cheating story makes sense now. And it starts with her emphasizing he loves her too much and she is the apple of his eye, but he is still looking for a second wife. So what are the qualifications to be this man's second wife? Let us see. The very first thing, the women interested will have to pay their way since they can't feed or look after the second wife. Wow, we are off to a very good start. So you have to be black and the husband can't stand wigs, weaves, braids. He hates heavy makeup, heavy jewelry, and he hates false nails. You can't be too thin or too thick. You have to be a healthy, curvy black woman. You have to be 25 to 35 years old. If you're a mom, you have to have a minimum of 2 kids and be able to provide for yourself financially. You also have to have their beliefs. To be exact, his second wife should not be a Sunday worshipper. So you're probably wondering, I'll leave my home, go live in a tent in the woods, and provide and feed for myself. And I am pretty much the perfect black woman. What am I getting out of this wonderful arrangement? So the husband will take care of you emotionally, socially, and conjugally. Is that a word? Conjugally. He will treat you like a queen. Yes, he won't feed you since they want you to feed yourself, but he will still treat you like a queen. And he will make you laugh till you cry.
The bells are ringing. It is time.
The bells of Jerusalem are.
It's time for the Kingdom of Kubala.
And apparently he cooks delicious Ghanaian dishes, which I guess you won't get to eat because they won't feed you and look after you like that when you join them. So he has a powerful singing voice and will sing for you.
Mary, boys, men say.
Oh, yeah.
And he will bathe and massage you. So the woman should be rare, very hard to find, and not common or ordinary. Oh, I guess we are done with what you're getting for being the second wife, in spite of you being the diamond in the rough. The second wife will have to have the right energy because this king is just a sensitive man who does not need negative energy. Wait, we're not done with what is required of the second wife. So at this point, you're the perfect woman. What more is required of you? Oh, listen to this, okay? Single mothers will pay £500 just to be considered for a date and spend the weekend with the husband with an emphasis on there will be no intimacy. If you have no children, you'll pay £350 with the same conditions. Don't freak out, there's an exception. If you are a virgin, you do not pay anything, but your virginity will be medically tested and proven. Oh, isn't that nice? I know. Why do the women have to pay? If I get there, I'm taking care of myself and paying for anything, then why am I paying? Let's listen to this. Because my husband is the one doing the service and sacrificing for black women. Sacrificing what exactly? I am trying so hard not to be judgmental, but are you saying this? More black women are single because black men are sadly being taken by white women, so you will be the second wife without a legal marriage certificate. Oh, doesn't that sound amazing? For the perfect, absolutely perfect black woman. So, how many of us are signing up? Huh? Huh? I don't know if this requirement still stand to join the kingdom. The post was back in 2019, but I'm guessing they probably do, right?
I do not have the formal title of a wife, but he is my husband.
And I have seen many people bash the ladies, diagnose them with mental illnesses. But what about this dude? Look at him sending his wife to go find him other wives and virgins. So I have a lot of thoughts about this story. But what I want to hear more is what you have to think about all this. So please let me know. Thank you so much for being here. And I really, really hope I'll see you in the next one.
To the people of Ghana, to the people of Kenya, your king has come. You are the tribe of Judah. For the Creator has sent me to your land. I am the king of Kubala. I am the Messiah. I am your Shushuma.